Hey there, Chiefs Kingdom. Welcome back to Total Chiefs, your home for everything red and gold. Today's topic: huge NFL rule changes that are going to shake up the 2025 season. And yes, they directly impact our Kansas City Chiefs. But before we dive into what's changing on the field, let's take a second to talk about someone off the field who deserves serious recognition: Clark Hunt. Now, I know we don't always give Clark the spotlight, but it's time. This man has done an incredible job running this franchise. From carrying on the legacy of his father, Lamar Hunt, a pioneer of the game, to putting the right people in place like Andy Reid and Brett Veach, Clark has built a powerhouse. We're not just witnessing success, we're living through a golden era of Chiefs football, and a huge part of that is thanks to Clark's leadership. Think about it: 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Lombardis, a consistent playoff presence, and a team culture that players actually want to be a part of. That doesn't happen by accident. So here's a little challenge for you. If you're proud of what this franchise has become under Clark Hunt, smash that like button right now. Let's see if we can get 500 likes to show appreciation for the man behind the curtain. And hey, while you're at it, I want to hear from you. What's been your favorite moment as a Chiefs fan since Clark Hunt took over? Was it the Wasp play? Drafting Mahomes? Winning it all in Miami? Drop it in the comments. Let's get the kingdom talking. All right, now that we've shown some love to the man at the top, let's talk about the first big change the NFL is throwing our way, and how it could completely change how we handle special teams next season. All right, let's get into it. The NFL just made a massive change to the kickoff rule, and it's going to impact every team, especially a strategic squad like the Chiefs. So what's different now? Starting in 2025, if a kickoff is fair caught inside the 25-yard line or goes into the end zone for a touchback, the ball is now placed at the 35-yard line, not the 25. That's a full 10-yard bonus for just taking a knee or waving for a fair catch. But here's the twist. This rule is designed to encourage more kick returns, not fewer. Why? Because kickers are going to be forced to aim their kicks differently. That booming touchback from Harrison Butker? Yeah, that might become a rare sight. Teams will start squibbing or popping the ball up short of the end zone to avoid giving up easy yards. That puts the return game back in play, and that's where things get interesting. This rule could completely flip the value of special teams players. Guys like Harrison Butker, known for precision and power, may need to adjust their entire approach. Meanwhile, returners? They just got a stock boost. Think about it. Now more than ever, a game-breaking returner could decide tight games. Here's the big question. Do the Chiefs have that kind of return threat right now? With Samaje Perine gone, there's a good chance we see Brett Veach looking to the draft or free agency for a speedy specialist. Or maybe someone already on the roster steps up. Could we see Rashee Rice or even a rookie receiver taking kicks? Also, don't be surprised if Dave Toub, our legendary special teams coordinator, becomes an even bigger asset under this new format. He's got a track record of turning unknown returners into difference makers. So let's put it out to you. Do you like this new kickoff rule? Is it a smart way to make the game more exciting? Or just another weird NFL experiment? Type Y for yes or N for no down in the comments. We'll tally the votes and talk about the results in a future episode. And before we move on, think about this. The return game has always been one of those hidden yards parts of football. But now, it might be front and center again. That changes strategy, player value, and maybe even the way the Chiefs build the back end of their roster. Next up, let's talk about tech. The NFL is finally adding more video review, but is it actually going to make the game fairer? Now let's talk about something that's been driving fans crazy for years: missed calls. The NFL is finally stepping into the future with a new video review rule, but it's not quite what you might expect. Starting in 2025, referees will be able to use video assist to review specific penalties, things like face masks, tripping, and horse collar tackles. Sounds like a win, right? But here's the catch. They can. only review plays where a flag was already thrown. That means if a player clearly grabs a face mask but the refs miss it in real time, it still won't be reviewable. So yeah, it's progress, but not a full solution. Now, I know you remember that moment. Chris Jones versus the Raiders late in the game, when he got flagged for roughing the passer after a completely clean hit. That play changed momentum. If this new rule had been in place and the flag was thrown, they could have reviewed it and picked it up. But since roughing the passer isn't included, we're still living in that gray area. Honestly, if the NFL really wants to get it right, roughing the passer should be reviewable. These calls have massive consequences, especially for a team like the Chiefs that plays aggressive defense. One bad flag can cost us a playoff game. You feel me? Here's where I want your take. If you could add one more penalty to the video review list, what would it be? Go to the comments and drop your answer. We'll feature the best suggestions in the next video. It's your turn to play ref. Now don't get me wrong, this rule still helps. When a flag is thrown, at least there's a second look to make sure it's legit. And for a smart team like the Chiefs, who play disciplined ball, this could eliminate some of those frustrating phantom calls that always seem to show up in big moments. But we're not done yet, because while the NFL is slowly modernizing with tech, they're also changing the rules for how overtime works. And that might be the best news Patrick Mahomes has heard all offseason. All right, now we're getting into the rule change that every Chiefs fan has been begging for. New overtime rules. And yes, they finally listened. Starting this season, both teams will now get a possession in overtime, even in the regular season. That's right, no more losing just because the other team won the coin toss and marched down the field for a touchdown. We're finally moving towards something a little more fair. And you already know what game triggered this change. Chiefs versus Bills in the 2021 playoffs. What a classic. Mahomes put together one of the most legendary performances in NFL history, and still, Josh Allen never touched the ball in OT. That just didn't sit right with fans, players, or even the league. And now, that kind of ending won't happen again. So what does this mean for the Chiefs? It's huge. Think about it. Patrick Mahomes thrives under pressure. Even if the other team scores first, now he gets a chance to respond. That's scary for the rest of the league. Honestly, if you're facing the Chiefs in OT, it might be better not to score a touchdown first. You're just giving Mahomes more motivation. But hey, let me ask you something. Do you think this new rule is more about helping Mahomes or helping Allen? Go to the comments and let me know. Just type Mahomes or Allen. We'll tally it up and see which fan base is louder. From a competitive standpoint, this rule feels like it levels the playing field. We've seen too many games end with one team's offense never getting a shot. And let's be real, football is better when the stars are on the field with the game on the line. The NFL finally got this one right. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you've got to love this. Our guy is the best in the world with the ball in his hands when it matters most. Overtime just became another stage for Mahomes to cook. But hang on, we're not done with changes just yet. From free agency meetings to the way we measure first downs, the NFL is modernizing fast. And yeah, even the tush push is getting attention. Let's break it all down next. Okay, so we've talked about overtime, kickoffs, and video reviews. But the NFL didn't stop there. These next changes might not be as flashy, but they could seriously shape how the Chiefs operate in 2025. First up, free agency just got a digital upgrade. Teams are now allowed to have Zoom meetings with players before the official free agency window opens. For some franchises, that's just a tweak. But for Brett Veach, it's like giving him a head start in a race. You know how aggressive he is in scouting talent early. Now imagine him having face-to-face conversations with targets before anyone else can even pick up the phone. This plays right into his hands. Now let's talk about something that's been a part of football forever, the chain gang. You know the guys running out with those poles to measure first downs? Gone. The NFL is switching to Hawkeye Digital technology. Yes, the same system they use in tennis to measure exactly where the ball is. More accurate? Sure. But some fans are going to miss the drama of Gene Steratore eyeballing it and pulling out an index card. Real quick, I gotta throw this one at you. Do you think this kills the Gene Steratore magic, or is it time to move on? Drop your take in the comments. I'm curious. And finally, the tush push. Philly made it famous, but the Chiefs, they figured out how to shut it down against the Bills last season. That's coaching. That's prep. And it shows Kansas City is ready to adapt to whatever trends the league throws their way. Now, I want to hear from you. How do you grade these rule changes overall? Hit the comments with A, B, C, D, or F. Let's see how Chiefs Kingdom feels. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.